as we continue our series, as we talk to Chattanooga Police Department each and every month, we try to give you guys a different view on what's going on with the Chattanooga Police Department. And we have Officer Cross in the back there. You don't really want to say anything to anybody, but he's in here. And today he brought the Crisis Response Unit. And it's fascinating that you guys are now a part of calls when you have to go out and do calls. So kind of introduce yourself first.
Go ahead.
Officer Montana.
Officer.
Been out for about 6 years now.
Okay.
My name's Amanda Finn. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. She is my full-time partner.
Okay. Wow. I mean, so it's connected like that now.
Yeah.
You guys get calls and then you have to go out and assess what's going on.
Yeah.
And then kind of work your way through it, so to speak. Kind of give us kind of overview, kind of what it is.
So we kind of start our day in the patrol car. We log in just like a typical patrol unit, and dispatch will dispatch us to people experiencing a mental health crisis, or if there's a mental health component to a 911 call, they'll sometimes reach out to us and see if we can assist in any way. And that's pretty much, we go on scene. It depends on the call, of course. But we'll, assess the person and see kind of what they need. Do they need to go to a hospital? Do they need to just talk to someone? Do they need connection to community resources? It really varies based on the call.
So when you get a call, it's a lot of elements that kind of go into that call. Now you just don't go up and see somebody or something that's happened bad and then you start arresting everybody.
No,
Not everyone. You don't know if someone has mental health or not. It's kind of a variety of people, but they can sometimes go to jail, but also still get treatment for mental health afterwards as well.
Because I mean, if you commit a crime, man, I mean that's what it is.
If there's a victim that's wanting to press charges, So.
Yeah, but I think it's fascinating that you guys have to take it to another level, though. You have to kind of assess what's going on, and you say to yourself, okay, this person is obviously got something going on besides what they just did.
Yeah.
And is it kind of hard to kind of pinpoint that?
I feel like not for us. We just like to talk to people anyway. So the more rapport you build with somebody, the easier it is to just like build that relationship. And it's I wouldn't say it's easy, but like it's fun. But also like we have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
Having community outreach and stuff like that.
And trying to help people too.
Yes, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, and I think once people realize that we're not there to like get them in trouble, then they take a deep breath and they're able to kind of calm down, because it can be scary to see two people show up like this on scene. But definitely, people, they appreciate us once they realize what we're there for.
Is there a situation where you may run into like a parent or a guardian and they know something is wrong with that person? Is it some kind of help they can turn to? Can they call you guys like ahead of time before something really bad happens? I mean, do you guys run into those situations?
We do have, absolutely. We've had that plenty of times where they're like, I don't know, something seems off. Can you just come and check with my son or daughter or whatever, and then just go from there. And sometimes it's either like we just give them resources or like a psychoeducation, which she likes to call it, and just educate on
what this is. Yeah, what this is, or if these are the symptoms they're experiencing, we can just sort of explain where it's coming from or what it could be. And then, like she said, give them resources and how to connect to more ongoing care that would maybe be able to figure it out more than just like a crisis situation.
Yeah.
So.
What was the first time you probably said to yourself, mental health is playing a real part in some of these people's lives that are committing these crimes? I mean, I know the light bulb goes on and say something absolutely is wrong with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to do this probably since I started my education.
Okay.
And, I've always seen that there's sort of a gap. This was quite a while ago, but there's a gap between police and mental health, but we're kind of working with the same people. And so for me, like, this was always the end goal for me. I wanted to do something like this to bridge that gap in those two communities that it's kind of opposites, but when you can have like such a good partnership, it's very beneficial to the community, and we've seen it day to day, like make an impact, and that's really cool.
And so you talk about making an impact. Do you have people coming back to you saying, "Hey, you really helped me out in this situation. Because it could have been a lot worse.
Yes.
There's a lot of successful stories that we've had. Just last week, we did something I feel like pretty good for patrol officers and the society, and it was just like very uplifting. But it was also like multiple parts to the scenario, or to, I guess, really what happened.
I would bet that.
And it was pretty,
Yeah, it ended up being a lot more complicated than we thought, but that's the benefit of having a social worker ride with the police officer. Like, she gets to handle the police side of stuff and make sure everyone's safe and all those things, and then I kind of handle the social services side of connecting to some sort of resource, doing a referral if I need to do that. So yeah, it's been really cool. We've had a lot of people be really appreciative that we're there, and there's calls that will be like, man, that would have went so different if we didn't show up.
If you guys weren't there. Yeah, I would imagine that, because especially when you're dealing with, I'm not trying to single out any group, but young people are, I deal with them. I'm a coach on the side, and these guys, sometimes some of the stuff they go through and some of the stuff
it's
they
tough,
say, it's tough on some of these kids out there. So I think it is great that you guys as a police department are trying to just interact in a way that it's just taking it way past, just what people may think is what police work is.
Sure.
I mean, you guys are doing it on a professional level.
Yeah, it's
and you're trying to be the answer as opposed to the problem to a lot of these problems.
Yeah, and we also recognize that a lot of young people and a lot of people in general, we kind of approach every situation as though they've gone through some sort of trauma, and so that we have that in the forefront of our minds when we're interacting with people. And I think it really changes the game when you have that in your mind, that someone has probably experienced something that we can't even imagine what that would be like. And that's really, I think, changed a lot of our interactions with people.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to share with our audience, like numbers or any kind of things?
We're wrong people for that. No. Our other officer, he's actually great with data and stuff. But I will say it's gotten better, because we just added another unit, and then eventually we're going to add, I think, another one or two.
Yeah.
I guess the data behind it is that we pretty much relieve a lot of patrol officers so they can handle violent crimes or like other crimes that they can for society, right?
Yeah.
And then we can actually slow down on these mental health calls, because realistically, like, we have to.
Yeah.
Because it takes some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that. I mean, during the summer, the mental health calls do go up, and then as it gets a little bit colder, people kind of hide a little bit.
Chill out a little bit, yeah.
Then that week between Thanksgiving and Christmas gave us a run for our money, that's for sure. People struggle through the holidays. I think that's pretty typical. But yeah.
Well, they do struggle, but it is nice to know that, you guys are out there to help. Yeah. And when you do show up, you're showing up with a purpose. Yep. And not, what people may think.
If you were asking how to get in touch with us, is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can, if it's an emergency, definitely can call 911. You can request a co-responder unit. We're the 560 cars. And so if you say something like that when you call in, that'll trigger dispatch to be like, okay, they're asking specifically for the crisis co-response unit. And then otherwise, that's really...
Yeah, or CIT, Crisis Intervention Team, which pretty much is like an individual officer that's been trained in crisis intervention. And those are... I'm CIT trained, and so is she, but other officers are as well. So it's like, if we're not available, there are other units or other officers that can still handle mental health.
Yeah. And, it's good to know, because, if you know you're dealing with a family member and you don't want anything to happen to them, you don't want them to get hurt. So if I'm calling, if I can, just go to you and say, hey, I need these guys here on the scene. Yeah. And you guys show up, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And that non-emergency number is 423-698-2525.
Okay. Yeah, say that again, sir.
423-698-2525.
Okay.
That's the non-emergency number.
Okay.
So somebody, family member, or if they're experiencing a mental health situation, before it get to that crisis level, okay, please call, because these guys are here to help.
Okay.
Before that crisis is escalated, and they're in full-blown crisis. If they can get them some services, and that is our main purpose, is to help people before it get to that point.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful unit. that we have here at the Chattanooga Police Department
Yeah.
to help the community.
Yeah.
You know, before we get to that point.
Yeah.
So we're here. They're here. Let's use them.
Yeah.
You know. 'cause they're here to
Please.
help.
Please do.
And that's why we asked, Officer Cross to bring you guys in, because we want to expose our listeners to, the multifaceted of each department that you guys have. And if they get to know that, they can better, you guys can better serve them, and they can avert, like you said, some of these crisis situations.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
We sure
exactly.
appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Officers, thank y'all for coming in here. Like
Yeah,
that,
definitely.
Of course.
Each and every month, we try to get somebody to come in from the police department to talk to us about everything that they're doing. And I think this is fascinating because you guys are here to be able to help the community in the best way you can. So once again, thank y'all for coming in.
Of course.
And thank y'all. Anytime you want to come in, you're invited to come in and talk about what you need to talk about.
Sure. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Education is key, right?
Yes, it really is.
Yeah.
So, for sure.
Right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.